Yuki and John, entry of a bird.
So this was based on your idea, Yuki, remember? New
All of
York.
them?
No, not all
New
of them.
York?
So we're gonna do some
Okay.
more other ones today, but the first one, because what we're
Yes.
gonna do for the first one is your suggestion, which is New York versus LA.
Right.
And wait a second, before we even start, you're in bed?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, yo, stay in bed. Stay in bed. It's nice. I like it. It's like you're more relaxed that way.
Oh, no,
No.
this is just sound only, right?
Yeah. Well, sound only, or we could put up, since you're in bed and people might get excited about that. I don't know.
Not trying to be lazy, but
No, I'm not calling you lazy. I was calling out that it might bring more viewers to our podcast, because if you're in bed, people are gonna want to see that. Anytime Yuki's in bed, people want to watch and listen and join in. Because right now we're recording. It's what is it? It's for me. It's 7 p.m. and for you it's 8 a.m.
Correct. Wednesday.
Wow. So I'm Tuesday. You're Wednesday. So you're in the future.
Yes, we're in the future. Yeah, yeah.
You're in the future, laying in bed, looking all sexy. I can't do this. This is too distracting.
Well, we did this. It was sexy, the podcast already. So right.
That's right. We've had a few sex ones, and we have another sex one coming up. So save your horniness for
Okay.
for the next one. But okay. So let's start with your suggestion: New York versus L.A. Now, just before we get started, this is in stand-up comedy. I think it's kind of hack. You know what hack is? Hack material.
Hack?
Yeah, so a hack comedian is somebody who's like not original. He uses stock, or he or she uses like stock. So if you get up in stand-up comedy, you're like, you know what the difference between New York and LA is? Let me tell you.
Okay.
So it's like kind of hack, but you know what?
Yes.
We're fucking hacks. So we're gonna talk about this.
Okay.
You're hacking up a lung over here. All right, so tell me your thoughts, Yuki, because you've lived in both places. I've lived in both places. Let's go. New York versus LA by Yuki Nakamura.
Okay, well, I live in long enough, and then 10 years ago, I moved to New York from LA, and then somehow I felt, I don't know, it's everybody feels the same way, but it's kind of competing. Like, look, Dodgers Angels, it's called the Freeway Series, right? And then New York Yankees and Mets, they call the Subway Series. That's like, oh my God, it's a car society in Los Angeles. Everybody needs car. And then subway, like a bus, like public transportation is a lot better than Los Angeles and New York. So I said, oh, gee, maybe automatically, without consciously, people are competing.
Okay.
Like for example, the Broadway show at the stage, Theater of the World, they don't like show coming from LA. Like one time, I did the show in Los Angeles. There was a big hit with Denzel Washington. I mean, it's a big hit.
Oh, yeah. You worked with Denzel, yeah.
Right. And then went to Broadway. It wasn't as, big hit as much as it was in Los Angeles. See, because it's automatically, hey, this show came from Los Angeles. LA show came to Broadway. They treated the show like that.
Right.
And then yes.
No, so they kind of they look down upon the LA theater in New York.
Right.
But they'll bring in the movies. The movies are okay, but the theater, they're like, no, New York's the theater place. We have theater under control. We're the best.
Right. Okay. And then LA people treated the movie from New York oh, it's an independent film,
That's true. Yeah. They think we're
right?
little
It's
pieces
not
of shit. Yeah.
right. It's like, oh, it's an art film, or it's independent film, or it's a New York film, like a Spike Lee, Scorsese. They are a New York NYU graduate. So, Columbia, you as opposed to USC, UCLA in Los Angeles. It's kind of, I mean, yeah, I don't see really competition, but it is there, I think.
Yeah. Totally. Because it's even a competition in just I don't know, in culture, I think, because
Uh-huh.
people talk about how New York is like the greatest city on earth and LA is like we're too
Right.
spread out and there's not a lot of culture there. When I lived there, I found that there was a lot of culture in LA. I don't understand people who say that there's no culture in LA. There's great museums, great places to
Right.
eat, great places to see. There's great people, even though there's a lot of shit people, but there's also a lot of shit people in New York too. I mean, anywhere you go, there's a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I live in LA. I like it, but I like New York more because no bad way, but Los Angeles, okay, it's LA culture, like is that everything is spread out. You need a car. You have to even drive to get a cup of coffee, right?
Oh yeah. And don't
And
get me
then
started on LA service. LA service is so slow compared to New York.
uh-huh.
Like New York, they're on it. They're on it. You got a cup of coffee, here it comes. Bing, and they got it for you. In LA, it's like 7 days later, you're still waiting for your fucking
Right.
cream and sugar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then New York, hey, nobody wait for the red signal. There's no red stop. People keep walking
Oh,
because
yeah. So when I
it's
first moved there, I didn't know. I mean, I heard what about jaywalking. I've heard about this in movies and stuff.
uh-huh.
I never experienced jaywalking. Me and my brother, the first day we were there, we got stopped by a cop and they're like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" We're like, "What? We're crossing the street." And they're like, you have to cross at the cross. Where are you guys from?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're from New York." They're like, "Look, we're going to let you go with a warning, but here in LA, you got to cross at the crosswalk and wait for the lights or else you get tickets." And I was like, "Oh shit, here's a culture shock."
Yes.
Right? Is it a culture shock or what? Because in
Oh, it's
Tokyo,
okay.
do they cross the street at the light, or do they wait, or are they polite, or
They wait. They wait.
oh, so New York is the only place that
New York
goes.
is. Yeah, I mean, couple weeks ago, I thought this was New York. So I kept walking, and then people like, "Hey, guy, it's red. You can't walk." Like
Oh,
people.
you in Japan, you got yelled at?
Yeah. So
You filthy
yeah,
New Yorker.
he's in New York. Yeah.
Wait, so okay, let's throw into the mix Japan. So New York versus LA versus Japan.
Okay.
What's your favorite city out of all of them? Is it still New York?
Uh, well, I like New York because it's exciting. Like it's more international.
It's
Like in
New York.
Los Angeles.
Really?
In Los Angeles, yeah, in Los Angeles, right? Okay, you see other people from other country, most likely Mexican, right? I'm not trying to be racist, but I mean, California used to be, belong to Mexico, so it's a make sense geography wise,
Yeah, we stole it from them. Yeah, sure.
right. So many Mexican, Hispanic were there,
Yeah,
and then New York, it's more like people from everywhere, especially people from Europe.
sure.
I mean, like first 1 year, I worked with like people from Italy, Mexico, not Mexico, Italy, Puerto Rico, France, Russia, Croatia, like 5 countries, and then already first job.
In
But
New York.
then Los
Yeah,
Angeles, in New York, Los Angeles. I've been working years and years. Only people from crew from another country is Mexico, but actually he was born in LA. I mean,
there
so
you go. which is even more rare than anything because a lot of LA natives is, it's hard to find them when you're living in LA. They're all people from Nebraska, Milwaukee, Boston, wherever there's like every once in a while, like you're actually from LA. What the fuck? That's so weird. It's so hard. When I worked in LA, I worked at a delivery food service, which was like the prototype Grubhub and Seamless. It was called LA Bite, Bite. And there was a lot of people from Brazil and a lot of people from Bulgaria, which is so weird. Like, it's like really, those were the two biggest things in that company was Brazil and Bulgaria, the two Bs, and they were constantly sort of against each other because the Bulgarians had their ways and the Brazilians had their ways. The Brazilians were more loose and open with their entire lives and the way that they worked, and Bulgarians were very strict and to the point and get this goddamn job over with so I could go home. It was interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah.
And then speaking of the pizza, like it's a different.
Yeah.
Like I was surprised when the whole pie. That's what's called in New York, right?
Yeah.
Pizza, but it's whole pie. You don't say that in Los Angeles. Pie means not the pizza, right?
Apple
pie,
cherry
peach pie,
pie.
those are pizza. Cherry pie, pumpkin pie, those are pie. They never meant to be a pizza. But in New York,
it's
pizza is a pie,
And then in England, forget about it. In England and over there, the pie, it's all meat. It's like meat pies. So when they they see the fruit in the pie, they're like, what the fuck are these Americans crazy? They're putting fruit in a pie? It's supposed to be beef and lamb and shit like that.
They put the meat in pie, right? Yeah, shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie, meat pie, beef pie. The Demon Barber of Fleet Street with Sweeney Todd was all pie, meat pie.
That's right. So, and then also the bagel.
Oh, yeah.
New York bagel a lot better. And then people say that the bagel is better than any other place, and the people say because of water.
Right. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't prove it, but I believe it because I think, my opinion, the bagel, pizza, better in New York than in LA. There's no question for me.
So there was a place in LA that used to supposedly, this might be just a marketing thing that they did. It was a place in Beverly Hills called Mulberry Street Pizza. And they supposedly shipped their water in from New York. They were probably lying. They were just using the fucking LA tap water and telling everybody that they were shipping the water in. In LA, I found a few good pizzas. There was one, I forgot the name of it. It was on Sunset Boulevard, and they had a great meatball pie. It was, I called it a pie. I don't give a fuck. And then you know what I found that was really good in LA? Chicago style pizza. They did that really good. Yeah, the thick ass pizza.
Well, I like the thin pizza. And then, you just mentioned the Chicago. I hate the Chicago hot dog.
You hate Chicago hot dogs? Why?
Too messy. They put too much stuff on the bun, like veggie, like peaman, and then some, other, I don't know, too messy.
Would you ever heard of a fork, Yuki? Whatever falls on the plate, you eat it with the fork.
No. Is that are you talking about the people in Chicago?
Yeah, so if you get a Chicago dog, right, and you're shoving it in and all the shit's falling off onto the plate, right, it's falling. Then after you're done, you have like a salad on the plate. So you get a fork and you eat the rest of it. It's like a second meal. Come on, man.
It's gross. No.
I like all hot dogs. I mean, give me a hot dog with fucking relish and all the shit. I love it.
Yeah, I just can't handle the Chicago hot dog. It's just too much, and then too messy to eat.
All right, what
So
about Chicago as a city? Did you ever go there?
it's too cold, especially winter time. It's a
Yeah,
lot colder than New York and then Boston.
yeah,
It just maybe I went to Chicago a couple of times. Both times in winter. So and then that cold wind.
yeah.
That's like first of all, the Lake Michigan is frozen, and then when you're walking in the cold wind,
Yep.
it's like 1,000 of needles sticking in your face.
Yeah, and then your tits and then your ass all over the place. It's fucking
Yeah, it's just
horrible.
too cold. Yeah, so I don't like it.
Yeah,
Then maybe. No,
I got stuck in Chicago once because I was taking a train back. I
uh-huh.
was moving back from LA to New York, and I decided to
Right.
ship all of my stuff and take a train back as like a nice 3-4 day thing. And
Right.
as I was going across the country, there was a blizzard that was so bad that I got stranded in Chicago. So I was
Oh
like,
my God.
fuck it, I'm here. I'm gonna hang out and go see some stuff. I'm gonna go here, there. I'm gonna the museum and the da 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 da. And but the problem was I didn't have any of my winter clothes. I only had like a sweater. I
So
almost had frostbite. I was so fucking cold.
cold.
Horrible.
And then I never seen it, but that's why they call the Windy City. I heard they put the rope between the two buildings so they can walk. Is that true?
What? What? I never heard this. What do you mean? They put a rope? What?
Yeah, so people doesn't thrown away by the window. So the people just following the rope, so they don't get blown by wind.
Blown? That would be nice. But wait, so you're saying if between two buildings it's so windy that they need to put a rope so that they could drag themselves across on the ground?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never I never heard that.
But a friend of mine from Chicago, I mean, a couple of friends, they said that. So, but I never see it. Or maybe they're joking. I don't know. But they did say that.
Maybe. I didn't see that, but I did witness the bitter, nipply, like that expression, you're freezing your tits off.
Yeah.
That's because of Chicago. You definitely freeze your tits off when
Oh,
you're there.
sure.
It's so fucking cold.
Otherwise, why they call Windy City? I mean, other places have wind, right?
I think I've experienced wind once or twice in other cities, but Chicago's wind. Oh,
Chicago.
Yuki's laying back down. This is so hot. Anybody who's watching the video right now is Yuki is just laying down looking like a whole snack.
Wait a minute, but I thought this is just the sound only. Why?
Oh yeah, sound only. Don't worry about it, Yuki.
Wait a minute, but you are taping. You can put this
No,
in our podcast.
no, I would never. Just audio. Only.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm lazy now.
No, you're not lazy. You just so Yuki, tell me a little bit more because New York versus LA. You wanted to
Right.
talk about this just because of the Hollywood Broadway, or is there more like good points and bad points that you were interested in?
No, it's all culture thing. Like even the taste different, smell different, and then New York isn't for everybody. Like many people goes to New York, but many people can't handle it and leave. Like a couple friends who went to, move to New York, and then some of them even just traveling.
Yeah,
They
New
couldn't
York's
understand it.
it's a tough place if you're from a place where it's not
Right.
like the hustle and bustle of New York. You're not used to it. But I think the same thing goes for LA. When I moved there, it was sort of a different kind of culture shock. It was like
Right.
you said, you have to drive everywhere.
Right.
But there's beautiful things to see. You could get to Malibu. You ever go to Malibu Point Dume, Dume, Point Dume? You ever go there?
Yes. I've been there.
Fucking beautiful. There was this one hill that you climb over the rocks in the front, and you get there, and it's this
Right.
private crescent moon beach that I never saw anything like it. There were seals there, dolphins flipping around in the ocean.
Right.
I never saw that kind of stuff in New York. That's amazing. But then you come to New York
But
and you see,
the New York has something the area doesn't have.
what's that?
Skyline.
Yeah, but they have like sort of a skyline downtown. It's like 4 buildings, but it's there.
Well, not to be enough. It's just one section, right?
Yeah, just one section.
And then New York has a, East River, Hudson River.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
true. But New York
and
has,
then-
I mean, so LA has the Pacific Ocean, this beautiful expanse. And
No,
also,
New York has the Atlantic Ocean.
yeah, but the Pacific is so majestical. You ever go to so the thing about also California, you could go to all the different kinds of environments. One time I went to this right outside of LA, maybe an hour or two, to these lithium hot springs. They weren't sulfur, so they didn't smell. They were lithium, and they were really warm and beautiful. It was almost like the Garden of Eden, but you have to hike really far into the mountain to get there. But it was like sort of
Right.
like a half a desert. When on the way back, we were hiking out of the lithium, beautiful, fucking eating strawberries and shit in there. I looked out onto the mountains and I saw the Purple Mountains Majesty. You know that song when he says Purple Mountains Majesty? I saw it. The fucking mountains were purple and it was majestical. It was fucking. I stopped and I said, "This is it." He's talking about the Purple Mountains.
So you saw the song physically.
Physically, I stopped and I said, "Is anybody else seeing this? Is the Purple Mountains Majesty?" The sun was like kind of coming down. The mountains were in a purple hue. I had never seen anything like that. It was gorgeous. So you can't really see that sort of thing in New York, where it's God's open country. You look out and yeah, you see Jersey and Pittsburgh maybe on a good day, but that's not purple. Did I lose you? Shit.
Shit, I'm sorry.
I lost you at the Purple Mountains, Yuki.
But yeah, well, the sound was disconnected. I'm sorry, but
whatever. We're a whole world away from each other, so we expect some technical difficulties. But the nature, the skiing, the wine country. There's so much to do in LA. You get over there, as long as you don't drink and drive, you can have a great fucking time out there.
Well, yeah, that's good. The LA has everything. If you drive this way, mountain. If you drive this way, ocean.
Yeah,
right. That's true.
Yeah,
but the New York has mountain. Upstate New York, and then New York has everything, and then people just don't know enough, I think.
Yeah, because, I love upstate New York is beautiful. Upstate New York is fucking beautiful. Yeah.
And then, okay, well, we don't have a Mexican food in New York, but we have a Cuban food.
What do you mean we don't have Mexican food? I have a Mexican place right down the block that's delicious. You never ate the Mexican around here? You've been here 1,000 times.
Well, I mean, there is a food, the restaurant, but not as good as
it's
Mexican
good.
food.
Oh, Yuki, you know how how good I am at food. Trust me, this is amazing shit. Amazing.
Okay, well, there will be, but not as many. Geography, it's again the geography because it's close to, Mexico. So more Mexican food, like New York, we have a better Cuban food, more Cuban restaurant, and then Indian food.
Oh,
New York is a lot better than in LA.
Agreed. The greatest Indian food I've ever had is right here in Astoria. I'll give them a plug because anybody who ever comes to Astoria, Queens, Seva, SEVA, greatest Indian food I've ever eaten. I am addicted. It's like the chana masala, the chicken tikka masala.
I have to go again then. I mean,
Next time you come, if you're eating some creamy chicken, we'll get you the chicken tikka masala. You will cry. It's so good.
Chicken tikka. I love chicken tikka, the chicken masala.
And then like I said, the egg rolls. They have these lamb. They're not egg rolls. There's something else they're called in Indian cuisine. But it's you're gonna fucking flip out. You're gonna love it.
And then lassi.
Oh yeah. They have the mango lassi. And the
mango lassi,
yeah, that's,
But you can get that in LA.
Yes, you can. They had the second greatest food I ever had was on Sunset Boulevard, was an Indian place called shit, I forgot the name of it, on Sunset.
Oh.
And then the third best, well, the first best Indian I've ever had is Save a Restaurant in Astoria. Second best is this place on Sunset that I forgot the name. Third best, Gaylord Indian on La Cienega Boulevard in LA. They have this.
Wait a minute. So you saying number 1 New York, number 2, number 3 in LA?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you combine 2 and 3, they tie for 1. For Indian food, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But they used to have, you would love it, Yuki. It was a buffet every day. Yeah, now you're talking, right?
Well, now we're talking about. Usually at the lunch, all Indian restaurant and buffet, usually, no?
Well, this one was extra special because it was like really inexpensive, but it was sort of a fancy place at night. But during the day, they did this classic like buffet style lunch that you could go in from say 11 to 2:33 and just eat your balls off. It was amazing. Right. Trust me. You know how I love food, Yuki. I wouldn't.
Yes, I know. Let's go this Indian place in Astoria next time.
Let's do it. 100%. All right. What else besides food and transportation? How about the people, Yuki? Did you ever experience because I personally, I've experienced both levels of rudeness and horribleness in both New York and LA, and I've also experienced both amazing and just genius, perfect people in both places. So what about you? What was your experiences?
I think New York people are more friendlier. I mean,
friendlier to begin, right? In the beginning.
Because you're drinking coffee in the coffee shop in the village, next moment you can talk to somebody sitting next table. That happens in New York, but I don't see that in Los Angeles. First of all, there is no sidewalk cafe in Los Angeles. No many.
Some.
There's some, right?
Yeah, of course.
But you have to drive to get there. No, it's not like you just 5 minutes from your apartment. It's not like that. But in New York, 5 minutes from your apartment, there you go. There's a sidewalk cafe and left and right.
Sure. So it depends on the section because I lived in West Hollywood when I lived in LA, and there was a lot going on in West Hollywood because I was like right in the middle of Sunset and Santa Monica Boulevard near like Fairfax. Fairfax, in between Fairfax and La Cienega. So right there, I had a really great place where I could walk to all sorts of stuff, all sorts of restaurants, bars, diners. I mean, Barney's Beanery was there back in the day. I actually saw the death of the Sunset Strip. They used to, when I first moved there, early 2000s, like 2001, 2002, they still had all the people like sort of cruising up and down Sunset Strip with the traffic jams on the weekends, and everybody's partying and out the side of the window. And they slowly got rid of that until by the time that I was done with LA, it was over. Nobody was cruising the Sunset Strip anymore. It's sad. Because that was a whole culture there, Friday and Saturday night partying on the Sunset Strip.
And then lots of street hookers walking around that time, probably. But they all, wiped them out.
No comment, Yuki. No, what happened was they started to push them. And there was this guy I knew who I worked with. I forgot his last name. His name was Sam. He was he was explaining how it was happening. Because he knew somebody who was in the police or something that was like explaining how they were pushing them further and further down Santa Monica Boulevard towards Western. You know where Western is, right?
Yes.
So they were like, first they were at La Cienega, then they went further on to Fairfax, then they went further on. They kept pushing that element of prostitution and drugs and stuff further and further down Santa Monica. At least while I was there, I don't know what it's like now. But when I was there, Western and Santa Monica was like the happening spot. And I worked literally on Western and Santa Monica Boulevard. So you know what I got into. And actually, this was really scary when I worked there. what's that crazy gang, MS-13 or something like that? There's this really bad gang out there, and they were starting to get a stronghold in that area. And there was a few times at the end of my tenure working with that company, I would come down the stairs, and there would be these like 4 or 5 guys just standing there and like staring at me. And I'd say, "Excuse me," yeah, they'd be like, "Excuse me," and like make fun of me. And I just didn't say a fucking word. I just like walked the fuck out, silent. They didn't bother me other than to make goof on me because I said, "Excuse me." And then my boss was like, "Yeah, we're moving our office because MS-13 is taking over this whole section of the city." And then I mean I left before they moved. So. Thank God. Yeah, thank God. But they really did when they made fun of me.
You're lucky to be alive.
Oh, I was like, yeah, because my first instinct in all of life is like, if somebody makes fun of me, say something stupid back to them just because I'm an asshole. Thank God in that moment I was smart enough to say, "Don't say anything, John. Just keep walking with a smile on your face, and hopefully they won't stab you in the back." And I got out alive. Thank God. But you want to know what else? One more thing. This is
I'm so happy.
Thank you, Yuki. You want to know one more thing that I saw in LA, and I saw this multiple times. But I've seen other disgusting things in New York too. But in LA, multiple times in multiple sections of the fucking city, somebody wiped their ass with toilet paper, and instead of putting it in the toilet, they put it in the garbage pail, but they didn't try to hide it. It's just like shit on a toilet paper in the garbage pail that you can see. So I would walk into the bathroom and be like, "What the fuck? There's shit in the fucking garbage pail." So
I've never seen it. Really? Did people do that?
That's an LA thing because I saw it in multiple parts of the city, in multiple times. I mean, in bars, I saw it at places I worked. Dude, I don't know what the fuck custom that shit is. Literally shit. But
I thought those New York people do that.
New York, I've actually seen shit on people, but at least they had the common courtesy not to wipe it and put it out for you. It's just on them. Like their asshole is full of shit. You ever see that? Like on the subway, somebody just shit themselves and they're just walking around like it's normal.
No.
I've encountered a lot of shit, Yuki.
Yeah, you've seen a lot.
I've seen a lot of weird stuff in my time, and that's because I lived in both New York and LA. And
right.
Not saying that other places aren't just as weird, but I don't know. I feel like LA and New York are two of the probably weirdest cities, right?
You think both are weird, huh?
Yeah, man. Fucking people are fucking bizarre here. Like, when I was in LA, I'm sorry, when I was in New York, me and Liz Shack are walking. I think I told this story on the subway episode. We're just walking, and this woman just spit on Liz for no reason. Like, what the fuck kind of shit? That's a psychosis asshole thing to do in New York.
Well, the reason we don't see that kind of stuff in Los Angeles is there's no public transportation. People drive, so maybe.
But in LA, I've been fucking harassed by homeless people who are like, "You motherfucking piece of shit, I'll kill you." And I'm like, "What did I do? I crossed the street to go to 7-Eleven, and you want me dead? Like, what the fuck is going on here?" You know what, Yuki? I think we've come to the conclusion in this episode that both New York and LA are fucking insane. They both are fucking crazy.
so neither place is superior.
I'm moving to Japan. I'm moving to where you are right now. This is fucking insane. What am I doing? Wasting my time in these two cities that spit at me, shit on me, fucking yell at me. What the fuck is going on, Yuki? Why can't I have some peace? Shit. I mean, at least in Japan, I might get a little food, a little nap. I don't know. What?
It's clean at least. People don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Is Tokyo's a very clean city?
Clean and then safe.
Do people yell at each
I mean,
other on
of
the
course.
street like, "Hey, you ugly motherfucker"? Do they just like yell at you for no reason?
No, I mean, there, of course, I mean, there's no place like a no crime, but I mean, it's safe place,
It's safe. Okay. Oh.
Uh,
Let's move
safe
to
and
LA.
then-
Let's move to Japan, Yuki. Let's take a year in Japan and see what happens.
Yeah, let's do that. And then, maybe your sponsor company has a business with Japanese company, right?
Yeah, you never know, Yuki. This might be the start of something beautiful. All right, before we quit, because we only have a couple of minutes left, any other things about New York and LA, Yuki, before we finish this episode?
I like both city in different way. Yes, but right now I live in New York, and I enjoying the New York life. Yeah, food is great. People are fun. More interesting people from all over the world. And then more than anything else, I'm happy not to driving.
Aha, yes, I agree with that. Not having to drive fucking 2 hours to get anywhere. I love both cities too. I had a great time in both cities, but I'm a New York guy because I was born here, I was raised here, and I just understand it a little bit more. I felt more like somebody like an extraterrestrial when I was in LA. I felt like somebody from another planet.
Oh, I see.
All right, well, that's New York versus
basically.
LA. No, basically what? I didn't want to cut you off. We only have 2 minutes, 1 minute.
Oh. Well, everybody from somewhere in New York. That's, yeah, I mean, right? And I like New York has 5 boroughs, which LA doesn't have.
Right. They have 500 cities, right? It's like so many sections of it. But New York has, what is it? Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and the Bronx. Yeah, that's fucking cool. All of them are good.
Yeah, and then subways are better. LA subway is like nothing.
Yeah, you get to like 3 places.
Yeah, of course, 3 places. Okay,
all right, Yuki. Well, this was New York versus LA. Maybe we'll do another one of these one day with another city. It'll be like Wisconsin.
San Francisco?
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
San Francisco versus Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
I've been to both as well. You've been to both?
Yes.
Oh, we could do a whole fucking series. We'll have city fights.
Yeah, like a San Diego, Philadelphia.
Oh, that's a good one too. San Diego versus Philadelphia. Hell yeah, we'll fucking fight.
Yes. Okay,
right.
we continue. Okay.
We're gonna do. Wait. I just want to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much to our patrons. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to the last. Keep watching The Last Drive-In on Shudder every other Friday, and and tune into Yuki's bedroom peep show here at the podcast buffet.
Yeah, I have a clothes on.
Oh, you got to take them off for the next one. All right, talk to you a little bit. Bye.
Okay.
Yuki and John.